Hey, yo, and welcome back to the Boston Sports Brothers podcast. You got Big E, J Matt, and Sammy K this evening. Great to see your beautiful faces. Gentlemen, how are ya?
Doing
You
well,
know, Doing well.
buddy. What's
we're
good?
doing okay.
Mondays.
The sun is shining.
We
Weather
kind of
is
look like
sweet.
a Uno. We kind of look
Makes
like
me
a
want to
Uno deck.
move
Makes you
my
want to
dancing feet.
his feet.
Love it. Little Bob Marley off the rip here. We
Anyways,
kind of look like a Uno deck here. We got the red, blue, green,
Like it.
reverse. Yeah, kind of.
Reverse.
Yeah,
according to my dad, he would only see two different colors. And
two
that's
colors. Well, hopefully our viewers aren't colorblind and they're able to see all the beautiful colors we have tonight. All right, boys, let's get started. Let's
I was
dive
gonna
in.
say, all right, reset.
Reset.
I could dive
We're-
deeper because I have a really funny story, but I won't.
Let's
All
save it.
right.
Let's save
So
it.
NBA and
We're talking finals. We're talking NBA finals. That's where we're starting. The New York Knicks, gentlemen, have just went on a complete roll in the playoffs, undefeated since the first round. Go into San Antonio and take the first two games of this series. Unbelievably impressive. They go back to New York tonight trying to take the commanding 3-0 lead.
They've been undefeated since the second day of the NFL draft. That's
Yeah.
pretty
So-
crazy, actually.
I just want
Wow.
to touch on something real quick. Can we talk about how for the longest time, or not for the longest time, but for 2 years or so, the media was saying that the Celtics road to the championship was easiest. Can we talk about an easy road here or what? I mean, not to say that the teams that they didn't play weren't good, but I mean,
You can. You absolutely.
I would say the road's
you have every
comparable.
right. You have every right to say that too. I mean, it wasn't like they went through a gauntlet like teams that we've seen in the past. So, I mean, of course, yeah, you have every right to that. But to the Knicks' credit, they've been great. They've been, winning every game that's been put in front of them, and they've been kind of doing it handily in different fashions too. Coming back down in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter, down by like 10 or in 15, and making some runs. So they're a chippy little bunch, and they have a lot of role players that really know their role and they play hard. And honestly, I kind of like the way they play, and I'm hoping some of the Celtics players are watching the finals and kind of just realizing it's not going to get handed to you. You got to play every possession like it matters in the playoffs. So, and I think the Knicks are doing that. So you got to give them a little praise for what they're doing.
Yeah, I think one thing that the Knicks have that the Celtics lack right now is, and I think in some ways Derek White fits this role a little bit, but I think you need someone who just does the dirty work, and that is Josh Hart to a T. I think he's like the guy that makes that team go. He's the glue guy. He's just a really good piece there. Celtics could use a guy like a Josh Hart that can come off the bench and really be that utility knife.
Marcus Smart-esque, would you say?
I think Josh Hart is a little bit bigger of a player than Marcus Smart was.
I think he plays the
And
same kind of role, though.
he's
I
a
think he
better
plays the same-
offensive player too.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I think in general, there's a lot of things you can think about. Like, and maybe this is something to talk about with the West too, because I think everyone going into this year felt like, hey, the champion was going to come out of the West, and it very well still could. But the West is such a gauntlet. The Spurs, I think, went to at least 2 7-game series. They just went through the ringer with OKC. Maybe there's something to be said about, maybe it's not necessarily the road itself, but coming out of the West is a gauntlet, and whoever comes out of the West might be at a disadvantage when they play the East, because the East really is so top heavy.
I mean,
There's really like 3 or 4 teams, and that's it.
not just that, but the Western Conference. That finals was a crazy series, and it was very physical, and I think you're seeing that right now. I think the Spurs are a little tired and a little beat up, and I just think that they're a little young, and I don't know if we'll see if they can rise to the occasion. I mean, it's going to be big games, but to your point, Sammy, originally, I think that you can say the Knicks have definitely had a softer road than some of the champions or potential champions in the past. So I don't think you're off base with saying that at all. I mean, if they're going to say about the Celtics, you do got to say about the Knicks too.
Yeah, and when I mean that, I mean just as far as, defensively and who they play defensively. Atlanta, it's a bunch of young and inexperienced kids, just like the Spurs. But again, a really good team that is on the rise. And then you have a team like Philadelphia, who, Joel Embiid went down. We faced him. He was hitting every single shot. Then he goes cold when he plays the Knicks, and it's just a different team. But again, it's the whole front court. It was allowing guys like Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson to continue to do their thing, and then they go and they face Cleveland, and not for nothing, but I mean, we all know James Harden's a fucking sieve, and once again, it's though you don't contain those guys. It allows everyone else to play openly, and if you're allowing Cat and you're allowing Jalen Brunson to play openly, it's really tough to beat.
I think one thing I think we're always fair and objective here on the Boston Sports Brothers podcast, which I think is something that is helpful. One thing I just want to put in perspective, though, like yes, like they've had an easy road, and yes, you could say the Celtics road was easy. Going back to the Celtics road, the Pacers, that looks a lot better a year afterwards because the Pacers went to the finals. So yeah, they were a little bit away, but that team clearly was, not that far off. So I think that makes the road look a little bit easier for the Celtics.
Did they still have
But
Turner at the time? Pretty sure they did.
They did. Yeah,
they
they had
did,
Miles
but
Turner.
Yeah, so I mean,
but
Siakam, they had
sure,
Tyrese
but
Halliburton. I
also,
mean, it was.
but I also
good
want to
team.
be fair to the Knicks. The Knicks have ripped off 13 straight wins,
Yeah, you got.
I know.
despite
Well,
the
I mean,
road
I'm
being
not
easy.
saying that they're not.
Despite the road being easy, the
Yeah.
Celtics weren't able to rip off anything like that. So, like, you got to
I
give them their
agree.
due. But with that being said, the Celtics won the championship. The Knicks still have 2 games to go. So, and I think this is something that, like, I would like to call out to their fans. It's really, really annoying to be celebrating a championship before you got it not wrapped up. For that reason and that reason alone, I really want the Spurs to rip off 4 wins because I would love nothing more than these obnoxious New York Knicks fans. And I'm not talking about like Erkey or anyone like that. I'm talking about the people in New York that are just like going ham like they've already won the championship. I want them to taste pain at this point. Like, if you're going to celebrate premature, I want you to lose in the most heartbreaking fashion. Like,
Worse than Arthur Blank,
yeah,
whatever his name is,
It would be
coming on the field.
spectacular to see that happen, Biggie. I don't disagree whatsoever. Like the New
At
Yorkers
tonight's game.
tears. Yeah, tonight's game is where it all rides because if
Tonight
San
is game.
Antonio is able to claw back into the series, it definitely, will shut up the Garden crowd a little bit. And there'll be tight buttholes in there for game 4 if that's the case and San Antonio is trying to tie up the series. Because if San Antonio is able to somehow go back 2-2, then it completely flips. And so, Biggie, you are
3-game
correct.
series.
Yeah, Biggie, you are correct in terms of it's not over until it's over. There's a long way to go here. But that being said, you got to give the Knicks a ton of credit for what they've done so far. Unbelievably impressive. They're playing. There was one clip where the ball was moving around and it just looked like pure basketball to create a wide open 3 that they hit that the Celtics died by all year long. So, then they deserve a ton of credit. And for all intents and purposes of where we're at, it sure looks like they're going to be able to wrap it up. Let's be real. But we'll see. We'll see. That's why they play the games, right, gentlemen? So
I mean, I want to be selfish. I want to see more basketball. I want to see a series. Selfishly,
so that's
as a
where I
fan.
was going to end. That's where I was going to wrap this segment up, J Matt, is let's go around and sort of give our take when we come back next Monday. Do you think we still have more games on the table or something has been, or the Knicks have been able to wrap it up? I think you'd have 3 games between now and the next time we record. So Biggie, your thoughts there, and Sammy K and J Matt, think about it while Biggie
Yeah,
rips some news.
I think they're coming back. I think the Spurs played with tight buttholes and they were tired, and I still think they're a very talented team. I still think the series is going 6 or 7. So I'm not saying this is done by a long shot.
Love it.
I
Sammy,
agree.
what do you think?
I agree. I think I think if Wemby is who we think he is, and he was playing like he was playing all postseason long, he comes to life, and the guards come to life, and they quiet that guarding crowd down. And if they can do that once, a lot of players want to go in there and make that place very quiet. That's their objective. So don't, again, New York fans, don't think that it's over just because you got 2 at home, because a lot of these guys go in there wanting to quiet the place. That's their goal. They want to hit that shot with people screaming. They thrive on that.
So, I mean, obviously, we'll see what tonight's the big night. If the Knicks can go up 3-0, it's definitely over, in my opinion. I mean, there's no coming back from that. They're not going to win 4 games. I think the Knicks are very, very, very talented team. We got to give it to them. I mean, they won 50 games last year. They won 50 games this year. Like it's not like they just crept up and like they're just doing this out of the blue. Like they're a good team and they've put something together, and they got rid of the coach last year who wasn't good, and they got Mike Brown. And you gotta I don't know. I think the Knicks are gonna do it. I really do. I just think that they have like OG Anunoby's playing great. Mikal Bridges was lights out the other night. He hit like 4 or 5 threes, just hitting every single shot that was coming his way. So I don't know. I just feel like the Knicks have put something together, and they have like 10 good players. They do use a lot of their bench players, which is kind of weird. You don't see that in a ton of big series kind of late, but I think the Knicks are going to do it. I do. And I'm not just, just saying that. I do think they're a better team right
If
now.
they're gonna
I think the Spurs in a couple of years, I don't think it's close,
yeah.
but right now I think the Knicks might be.
If they're gonna do it, it's gonna be on the back of Jalen Brunson. His play has been truly unbelievable, especially in the fourth quarter, and he has that clutch factor for sure. So fantastic series. There's really not much going on from the Celtics standpoint or point of view right now, so nothing to hit on there. So let's turn our attention, guys, to the other finals that's going on that has been absolutely unbelievable. One of the best Stanley Cup finals I think that's happened in decades, to be quite honest. Up and down, goals galore. Carolina, no, I apologize. Vegas up 2-1 as we speak. Game 4 in Vegas taking place tomorrow. So, gentlemen, thoughts on the Stanley Cup? What has been an epic 3 games so far?
I think regardless of what happens with this, I think Vegas has to go down as the greatest expansion franchise in history. 3 Stanley Cup Finals in 9 years, like that is ridiculous.
All the other teams have like 2.
Yeah, I mean, I just think like you got to give and like talk about the fact that like they're doing this on the heels of a coaching change that they made like 10 games before the end of the season. And I think they've ripped off like they've gone like 20, 22 and like 3 over that period of time. It's insane. They're just a wagon. And Tortorella, if Tortorella wins with them as well, I saw something recently that it'll be like one of the longest droughts between Stanley Cup wins for a coach. So it's a great story for them. And I think on the other side with Carolina, Carolina's consistently been on the doorstep, right? Like they've been in the Eastern Conference Finals for like a number of years in a row, and they finally break through. But unfortunately, they're up against Vegas, so it's a tall task for them. I think Vegas is certainly the favorite right now, especially we talked about with the Knicks, going in and having a higher record in a finals and having home games, having home court, home ice. It's a huge advantage. So I'm leaning towards the Knights here, but you can't discount the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes have a lot of heart, and they've made it challenging for sure for the Knights.
I think this one's over. I think it's Vegas all the way. I think they've actually dominated this series. I don't even think it's actually been. I think like Carolina's made it close in ways, but I think if Vegas has any goaltending, if Carter Hart was any good, if they had like a top 10 goaltender, I think that this series wouldn't even be close, to be quite honest, because Vegas is just dominating. They won like almost every single period. I think when you really look at it, in my opinion, I just don't. I think that Vegas is going to run away with it. I think Carolina is good. I thought that Carolina was gonna take it, but I think that Vegas just they have so many just veterans and so many just like top tier players that know when to turn it on, and I think this is what they were kind of doing all season. They were just trying to get in and this truly they're a veteran team. They're gritty. You just have to get in the playoffs, like we said in the NHL. And I think this is truly a case of a team that's veteran laden and they can do it. And man, they're dominating, I think. So I think it's kind of a done series in my opinion. More so than the NBA finals, to put in perspective.
How's any takes, any thoughts on the hockey universe?
Not a ton, finishing up the nursing program, so I haven't been able to
Yeah.
catch much of it.
Well,
All
I
good.
think obviously because hockey is a big thing in this area, there's obviously a little bit of a local tie-in as well.
Yeah.
So there are two guys on the Knights, 2 guys from Massachusetts, who are great players. Jack Eichel from Chelmsford, Merrimack Valley, raise up, and we got Noah Hannafin from Norwood. So some very talented players that hail from here. Hopefully one day they may be Bruins, but for right now they're Knights, and sounds like J-Matt here believes that they have a great shot to win the title.
I do think so. I do. Do you guys think they were talking about this on one of the shows, but like you guys watched I think Copley did the double overtime game. It was crazy. I was not expecting it to be on. I was like, I don't know, we were probably doing something. I turned it on at like midnight and I was like, holy shit, this game is still on. And I just feel like I know it's the finals, but I feel like the product was kind of like these players are playing almost what a game and a half by that point. So I just feel like, do you still do 5-on-5 at that point? Do you maybe try and go 4-on-4, maybe like by a certain point at the second, maybe like
Wait a
the
minute. Hold on now. If I recall, did you not have a problem with the 3-on-3 overtime in the
I was
Olympics?
gonna
Yeah, but that's
Yes,
three
he
on
did. Yes, he did.
that's 3-on-3. I'm saying
So
after one overtime,
you
after
think you
2,
go
I think these guys just get, like, dead legged and, like, you saw how the game ended, like, that was fucking stupid, like, why do we wanna end a game on a bounce off of a backboard that comes out and goes
that's
in
the
off
way it
a
goes when it gets to double overtime.
but that's
Any sort of bounce or any sort of thing can go your way to end the game.
I
I
don't
don't think
know. I
you
just
are
think it's a
afforded
little
that
cheap.
take.
I think it's a little cheap. I think you want a good hockey goal, and in that case, I think by that point of the game, I think obviously you start the first overtime 5-on-5. Hell yeah, of course. Do the whole
Would
thing. That's 20
would
minutes.
would you be
Maybe
asking the same thing if it was basketball and be like, "Oh yeah, let's go 4-on-4 for overtime 2 or overtime 3"?
no, because
I think it's kind of silly.
because basketball's not as physical of a game as hockey. It's not as
Basketball is different
crazy.
too.
Not even close.
And you can say for hockey that there are
Different sports.
periods of
Different,
the
way
game where
different. Cross your sports.
you see 4-on-4 play. Like there's evidence of the ice opening up and more opportunity being there. Like from a practicality standpoint, J Matt, yeah, you're probably correct. From a take versus your own take standpoint,
Take
different,
jail.
that's a good
I just like hockey, and I think the quality of the game just, like, sucks at some point. They have dead legs, and it's just like, what are we doing? The shifts are,
I
like,
could
20
see
seconds long, and you end on a stupid bounce, and it's like,
I could
you play all this game, you play all this time, and invest all to end on, like, something like that, it's like, I don't know, it seems cheap.
I could see 4-on-4 if you go to like 2 overtimes beyond, but I really can't see anything beyond that because I feel like then you're just kind of like cheapening the product at that point.
No, I
Yeah,
agree. At some point after the first, maybe after, like, the 10-minute mark of the second overtime, but not definitely don't ruin it after the first. Go into it 5 on
I'm just
5.
happy that they don't do a shootout. I think that's good.
Yes,
I was
They
just
So
could
about to
never
say, do a
they could never do
shootout.
that.
like the World Cup
yeah,
is coming around the corner, they think they can end that on PKs, like, that's crazy, right?
terrible.
It's like
Absolutely.
could
One
you
of the worst
imagine
things
in
ever.
the NBA if like after 2
How
or 3
PSG
overtimes they're
won.
like, "Hey, we're going to have a free throw shooting contest to see who wins."
Or a
It's like
three-point shooting contest.
that's essentially what it is. It's so stupid.
It is
I
kinda
hate the
Yeah.
dumb.
shootout. The shootout is the worst thing that's ever happened to hockey.
It's a skills
It
competition.
is, and honestly, if you're playing 3-on-3 and how many times do you see a goal scored during that time, like, just continue to play 3-on-3, like, that's fine during the regular season. Alright, lots of overtime hockey rule talk here.
Love it.
In terms of the Stanley Cup continues on, hopefully, it just continues to be sort of these crazy games with lots of goals scored and lots
We
of
want
back and
more.
forth, like,
More
we'll
hockey.
take that. So, just continue to go the distance here. Alright, it's, that unfortunate time of the week where we do have to talk about the Red Sox, and we do have to keep the listeners and viewers of the show updated. Krasy, I wish we had better things to talk about, but just more of the same. I'll hand it to you for what's going on in the latest and greatest, my friend.
Boy, oh boy, is the 99 reaping in the fact that they don't have to give out free meals to kids right now. I'll tell you what, this team just really blows on just a whole lot of cylinders.
How are we going to reach these kids?
27-36, 2-3 this past week. Oh, they split one with the Yanks. Big deal. I mean, at this point, it's just they're so far behind. It's just for them to already wave the white flag for the 2027 season. It's just we talked about it a little bit pre-show, and like obviously the writing's on the wall. Craig Breslow is the next to go. There's discontent
Breslow.
between Breslow. There's discontent between him and Theo, and it's just it's evident, and there's going to be another scapegoat because they actually, believe it or not, I saw a crazy like Vegas stat that they have better odds right now this year with the record that they do than they did last year with the record that they did.
At this time to make the playoffs,
Yeah,
right?
at this
Yeah.
time to make the playoffs, which
Yeah.
is pretty insane. So there's going to be some changes on the horizon. Again, I really don't like the fact of them getting rid of Chappie because you need a closer, and you've got a guy that has figured it out, probably has 2 or 3 good more seasons and could give you a lockdown season next year. But trading him off for, I mean, how good? I mean, they've been pretty decent at drafting. So I mean, there's really not much to say in that regards with pitching and position players. Obviously they needed a lot more power, but again, they got to spend for that. There's been a little, I'll just kind of go off a little bit on the CBA. I think did we talk about that last week with Urki and how there's a potential, there's talk about
The
being a
craziest thing, Sam,
CBA.
is like, why are we it's June 8th, and we're talking about the CBA. We're talking there's no baseball season. Like,
No, there's
we
none.
need to
There's
we
no
need to
reason for me to
we
watch the games
we need to address
because
how
they're just going to sell off all the good players.
this is the worst season that we as baseball fans, as Red Sox fans, have seen in our lifetime. This is crazy. Like,
There's
it's
one other
actually
season that's probably worse. That was the Bobby V season, but yeah,
I
it
remember that
was.
season. That
I
season
don't
was
know,
bad.
man. This could
At
be
least
this.
Bobby V was entertaining with like telling him
Sound
the
bites.
Big
Getting
O
thrown
that he was
out.
going to punch him in the face, and
They at least were
that sort of stuff.
they were probably good at home at least that year. Like, this at least you can't even go to a game and like expect to win. So I don't know. I argue with that, and I say that this is probably worse because you can't even go to the ballpark and enjoy the best open
Well,
bar in Boston anymore because
that's
the team
because it's
blows. So you
$23
can't.
for a fucking Surfside
But
or
not just
Hey,
a
at
high
that, but
noon.
like you could at least count on like maybe a W, like at in the past years. Like that's what's different this year is they're not doing it, and that's what
I,
sucks.
I hope you guys are all feeling lucky, or at least Plotty, J Matt, and me, because we went to a game that at home that we won. We should be playing the lottery.
Honestly,
Like, honestly,
they need us to go more.
It's with the interesting part, Sam, of bringing up the lockout is if you do trade for players, what are you trading for, and what kind of control do you have them under with that coming up? So that definitely makes sense. I do think that we're in for a fire sale. Now the question is this fire sale going to happen with Craig Breslow behind the sticks or not? But I think that's where we're headed. Don't be tempted into any sort of fool's gold whatsoever with how much they're out in the wild card right now, or the fact that they might be able to claw their way back into it. It's just, even still, if for some reason that even has a remote chance of happening, what J Matt said is correct. This has been one of the worst, most just like sad seasons of baseball. It sucks to have no NHL, no NBA, and both of those teams who let us down greatly in their playoff performances. But for the Red Sox on June 8th to just not have a season, it sucks. It's sad. Now, I'm grateful for all the great things we have in this area to be able to fill our time in the summer. And you get to invest in that a little bit more. But there's nothing like summer and baseball going hand in hand. And we're going to be robbed of that. That's not
The
happening.
the only saving grace for this team moving forward, if Fenway Sports Group wants to continue owning this team, is if they let Theo figure out who would be the right person to be put in that position. I don't know what he's doing now for them as far as that goes and what kind of say he has, but in my personal opinion, he clearly knows what he's doing in that aspect, with the front office. And if he found a guy that or woman that fit the role that would get the job done, I think the team might have some success behind this ownership. But besides that, there's not much cooking.
And Sammy, like, does Theo and Henry and God, I can't even believe I'm saying Sam Kennedy because I want that guy gone
he
too.
needs to be fired too.
I
Like,
want,
but
or he just needs to shut up and not say anything and not go behind the mic anymore. It's like be a
nope,
behind the scenes guy. Like
fired. I think he needs to
he
be fired. He's made too many mistakes in his job. Like,
he's
I'm sorry.
He's a scapegoat for
nah, Eric.
ownership.
He's
He
not gonna
needs to
go.
be there. He
He's
gets
not
all
gonna
the
go.
booze at the winter
Yeah,
meetings,
he
at
just
the
needs
winter
to.
fan fests and all that shit. He's the one to take all the booze for ownership. So
Yeah,
he's not going anywhere.
I don't think he's going anywhere. But but to also to Plotty's point, which is a good conversation probably for next week and then a couple weeks after, is as we get closer to the deadline, is do you trust the people that are in place right now to make the decisions to fire sale, or do you just hold on to everyone and then make the decision at the end of the offseason and fire sale everyone with a new person in charge? I don't know the answer to that question, to be quite honest. And I think that's a good debate that we can have in the future.
Well, I think the other part of that
question. It really is a good question.
I think that other part of the question too is I think they're going to have a hard time hiring someone for this job. They have had a hard time hiring someone for this job the last two cycles. And yes, it is a premier job. You're the GM or head of the Boston Red Sox, but based on their track record and how
It comes with
they
some
have been,
known
with
Yeah,
how they've been letting
toxicity
people
of our
go.
city.
Why would you come to this place? Why wouldn't you just wait? If you truly are a top candidate, wait for another place that's actually going to have less pressure and probably going to work with ownership that's going to give you more resources
Let's
to
just say
work
that.
with.
Let's
Like,
just say it's not the Brian Cashman effect over here, where you're just going to be
no,
the which is I to the Yankees like that it's not a bad thing. It works out when you have someone out in that knows what they're doing, that's been there for 20 years. It makes sense. But the Red Sox just don't do that. They can't commit.
Thing about the Yankees is that they're willing to open up the pocketbook and pay people what they're supposed to be getting paid.
Plotty, no, the Red Sox are too. They just put it in the wrong aspects, like Sedan
Christian
Rafaela
Campbell,
and Christian Campbell. So they pay their
Brian
players.
Bale.
They just don't do it well.
Yeah, and also just the back to Sam Kennedy, the whole injury thing with Roman Anthony was a disgusting sort of thing to see. We talked about that last week. Both Anthony and Crochet, who were like the two guys going into this season that I think everybody had sort of circled and said, these are your two guys that are going to be able to hopefully carry the load, have just been completely unavailable. Obviously injury related. You wish the best, hope they get back, but like financial resources into players that can't get on the field, whether it's because they're injured, or whether it's because they just don't have the fucking talent to be able to do it. So lots more to come. Once the finals wraps up on both the NHL and the NBA, we'll be talking Red Sox and what do they do and how do they improve and really get into the nitty gritty of that. We'll have some of our favorite baseball people on because who doesn't like to bitch and moan about the Red Sox more than our Boston media friends with us. So Kraz will be checking in with you each week. Always appreciate the Red Sox update. And finally, football news, not too much going on. However, OTAs were taking place last week, and I believe mandatory minicamp this week. They've moved things up. So, J-Matt, Patriots, Nuggets, what's going on down in Foxborough?
Yeah, so the first nugget we have here is A.J. Brown. Welcome, of course. He takes jersey number 1. That's what he's going to be rolling with, which I like. I think that's a good number for him, a good fit.
High school number.
Good,
Yeah,
good
high
number
school
for
number.
for wide receiver number 1, right?
He was, yeah, exactly, right? He was
He was
11,
always
right?
number
In Philly. So I like him not
And
taking
in
11.
and in Tennessee.
So that's
I
because
like
of Hurts, and there was someone else that was number 1 over in Tennessee, but neither
So-
here nor there.
We like that. We like that. So he looks great. I mean, the guy is absolutely cut up. It's not a matter of if he's in shape. It's just a matter of if he can stay healthy with that knee. So like the dude I was watching in some of the video, the B-roll that they have, and it's just like he is a physical specimen, that guy. So I'm happy to have him on our squad, and it's gonna be a breath of fresh air to watch him on the field and make that connection with Drake May. So we have here that a Diggs reunion is possible. Our good friend Scott Zolak might think that could potentially happen. I don't know who heard that, but I don't know. I mean, I would welcome it. I mean,
He was texting during a show last week and saying, "Hey, don't discount the possibility of Diggs coming back." So I personally don't think it's going to happen. I
too many
think he's
cooks in the
probably more like.
kitchen.
I think that's the one thing I'd worry about is there enough ball to go around? Because like while I think there's a
He
problem
learned
with
to
bringing him
actually
back
kind of
in
be selective
because
with the Patriots.
I don't know. I think if he's going to come back, he's going to have to understand that his role is going to be reduced from where it was last year because you have
Oh,
more talent
100%.
around you. So, but if he truly wants to win and he feels like this is the place to do it, I'm happy to welcome back with open arms
100%.
as long as he knows that going in.
Yeah.
And you're likely looking at taking Keyshawn Booty and Pop Douglas or some sort of combination, maybe even Mac Hollins, who knows, in being able to flip that and get some picks back, given what they did give up for Browns. So interesting stuff there. J-Matt, anything else that you're looking out for? A little cornerback action, perhaps?
So yeah, Gonzo, of course, still kind of like doing the hold in situation. He's not there, is he?
We'll
He
see
there?
if he's here this week.
Vrabel said he expects him to be
For
there
mandatory?
for minicamp.
We'll
So-
see. So he's definitely not there for the non-mandatory part, which I think that's like not that crazy for some of your star players to not be there. You'd love to see them there, but who knows? Maybe he's just getting ready for the season. You definitely want to see them hand out that contract and get ahead of it, especially because you have Drake May coming down the pike, and there's just so many things coming down the road that you have to start to think of. So hopefully Gonzo is willing to take a little bit, maybe less, maybe for more years. I don't know. He's still very young, so give him a long-term deal if you think he's going to be healthy. So that's what I would do.
Got to beat that Witherspoon contract from Seattle because once that goes in, then that's the new bar, and you got to beat that bar. The one thing that I think is interesting, and I don't know if it's gotten talked about as much in the Boston media, but Witherspoon and Gonzo have the same agent. So that agent knows the details of both of his players and what they're negotiating for. And as soon as one makes that deal, he's going to make sure that the guy who's next is going to get a little bit more than that first guy. So I'm really interested to see how it plays out for that guy because it's all coming up roses for that agent.
Yeah. No doubt. It'll be interesting to see if he is on the field the next couple days or if he's just there sort of with his presence or not. J-Matt, anything to wrap us up football-wise?
Yeah, just the last thing about the Pats is that they're holding joint practices with the Colts and the Eagles, which I think is great because those are two actually good run organizations, especially the Eagles, a perennial team that's been there. But the Colts that have definitely been up and coming with a good coach and a good system. So I think it's good for the Patriots to be going up against those organizations in preseason, not some of the dregs we've seen in the past, like the Titans and some other
Or you mean like the Browns?
Washington.
yeah, like
Who are
the
Yeah, they're
Giants too. Like, why do
who
you
we're
want?
facing in the last week of the preseason?
Yeah, the Brown,
I'm
like, and the
trying.
Giants. Don't they do with the Giants like almost every year? Like, why do you want to go up
I
against the
feel like this is
Giants?
the
Like,
first year in a while that we're not matched up against the Giants in the
so
preseason.
it's
So
good. It's good. Go with the perennial best team in the NFC East, the Eagles. So I think it's a good test for the Bats. I like it. And that wraps it up.
Good stuff. In football, we'll take stock of mandatory minicamp this week, get the reports from everybody down there, see how things are looking, and then football goes on a bit of a hiatus, and we'll start to talk the other football in just a couple weeks here as the World Cup is going to be
next week,
kicking
right?
off, I
Yeah,
believe, over the
Saturday.
weekend.
Some weird time, 6 o'clock,
So,
9 o'clock.
yeah,
Next
so the
Saturday is the
World
first
Cup.
game at Gillette, June 13th.
Excellent stuff. So we will start to mix in the World Cup to our talk starting next week. We'll have a World Cup update each episode as it's going on. We'll be watching the games, tuning in, excited for it to be going on. And if the U.S. can get out of the group stage and be able to get themselves even into any sort of, single elimination side of things, it's a success. And
They've
I
been a
really hope they
mess.
do so. It would be embarrassing if they don't, to be honest. So
I'm not going to hold my breath.
don't hold your breath. One local call out U.S. goalie. We'll see if Matt Turner, who's been with the Revolution for a super long time, ends up being the starting goalie or if they go in a different direction. But we shall see. Sick goal in the friendly versus Germany as well off that corner. I don't know if anybody saw that. So we'll get a little soccer minute in here and there over the next couple of weeks, fellas. But Biggie, let's keep on driving the car down the road.
Yeah.
Where are we now?
Yeah, we are at our destination called I like these things or I don't like these things. The oh yeah, section of the podcast. Who's got an oh yeah or a yeah this week?
So I got oh yeah, sorry.
Ooh. Uno reverse
no.
right there.
It was
There
oh
he
yeah.
goes. Well,
I went to Stone Zoo in Stoneham and we were looking for a place to eat and someone suggested Royals roast beef and I was like, oh, stop right there. I'm in. You don't even have to
Yeah.
ask me twice. I already knew where we were going and I saw the sticker, sent it to you guys, obviously, and it was solid. I obviously didn't get the junior, I get the medium size. So I got, I went middle.
Excellent.
I went middle and but still it was, I'm talking stacked. And it was, Alicia just kept feeding me napkins. I was just like, this is perfect.
What's the
Just
rule,
kept tossing
Sammy?
them out.
Once you put it up,
Don't
once you
stop
pick
eating.
it up,
Once
you
you
can't put it
pick it
down.
up, you can't put it down. So
Can't put it
it
down.
was, I give it an
Do
8.8.
you untwist the cap to your soda because you can't be fiddling around with twisting that thing back on and off. You just got to
it's
keep
good.
that
It's
off.
good to take it off. Yeah, no, and I mean the bun was grilled perfectly. It was done right. As soon as I ordered, the guy knew exactly what I wanted, and it was game on from there.
BSB approved.
I need one.
100%.
I need one. I knew as we're, another oh yeah, if we're talking about beefs real quick, which I want to try. If you're in the Fenway area, Game On has apparently a really good three-way. So definitely try it and check it out. I've been seeing it on the North Shore Beef page. So yeah, if you're in the Fenway area before a game, after a game, Game On, check it out. Legit, actually.
Interesting.
I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very interesting. Summertime always brings the good eats, lots of great places. Go get that outdoor beverage on the water, all those places opening up. That's definitely oh yeah for me, getting outside and
Definitely.
being out there with a cocktail. So that's been nice being down here at the Cape this week. So summertime, it's knocking at the doorstep for sure.
What's here?
It's here and it's fabulous. So all right, let's park the car. Let's take the pike here, fellas. Go around the horn with what's going on with the finals this week, Big E. We'll start there. The NBA finals.
We got the NBA finals. We got game 3 tonight. Let's go Spurs. Let's make this a little bit of a series. Then we got game 4 on Wednesday, 6/10, the 10th of June. And game 5, if necessary, will be on Saturday, the 13th. Let's hope that it is necessary, and we are back here next Monday talking about a 3-2 finals.
That'd be great. More basketball would be great. J-Man, I'll kick it over to you for Stanley Cup final schedule and what's going on with that series.
Yeah, game 4, Tuesday, 6-9. That's gonna be the 4th game gonna be in Vegas, and then they flip it back over to Carolina for game 5 on Thursday, the 11th, and then game 6 on Sunday, the 14th, and who knows if there's gonna be game 7 if it goes that far, but it's very looking I mean, I said I think Vegas is gonna win it, but who know that it's just been absolutely, what, 5-4, 5-4, 5-4, it's just crazy, so who knows? Who really knows? We'll find out.
We will. Krause, take it home with the Sox. What's going on there this week?
Lastly, they're losing currently to Tampa Bay. They have 2 more with them, and then they have
Get
3
that
with then they have 3 with Texas. So we'll see how they do this week.
I'm gonna go
Subpar.
into another week of 2-4, 2-5 baseball.
I got a quick, real quick, just while we have it,
Throw it
because
out.
it's been a little quick episode, which, stick through the whole thing, everyone. This
On the
month.
ball,
Good one.
baby.
NCAA college finals,
World
been
Series.
great, been absolutely great. I've been watching it. I think I watched Oregon versus Texas the other night. It's a good product, and same with the softball too. Like, very good products. So if you're looking for stuff to watch, and there's like no sports on, go to ESPN. There's always going to be a game on. Give the college baseball and softball a check. Big in my.
I do have a last Yao as well, and there was some news that came out of the NCAA today for Sorsby, who is this quarterback who I think is at Texas Tech, who basically admitted to gambling, and because of the gambling rules, got banned, but was overturned by an appeals court. Something tells me that this won't stick and that it's going to get appealed, but kind of a crazy thing going on with college sports and college football. So wanted to throw that out there too.
There's crazy shit going on when it comes to college stuff. Doesn't matter. Sports, other stuff. Always something. Always something behind the scenes. Great episode, boys. Great to check in on the sports happenings. I wish we had more to talk about from a Boston standpoint, but the national scene, certainly floating the stories as we head into summertime. We will get to NBA free agency, the World Cup, as we mentioned. You got Wimbledon, a little tennis coming.
Both drafts, NBA, NHL drafts coming up at the end of this month. So we got things to keep you guys enticed until those teams are ready to go.
Exactly. So great episode, boys. Great to see you. All the listeners, hope you all have a fantastic week ahead and near far wherever you are. We always appreciate you tuning in. Fellas, great to see you.
We'll see you all
See
next
ya.
week.
Later.
Peace.